going through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yo.
yeah. So you're talking about the New York and sharing all of that, and you're talking about the vision board. So like, can you share something about the vision board?
Absolutely. So basically, I've always really had enjoyed. I've always. I can really just be like that.
You
I've
keep
okay.
on going.
So
I
perfect,
can do it.
perfect.
I
Okay,
can do
okay.
it like that. Yes.
So basically, I've always had a thing for art. And when it comes to just spirituality and really, putting down my vision, I've always journaled them. But it's definitely different when you're able to put some pictures to it. And at first, I seen the magazines from Mexico and I said, I'm not sure they're going to have the things that I want in it. But of course, I found it, didn't it? Isn't it? All right, I'm done.
Yeah.
No, I found all of the things that was so perfect. And I haven't done a vision board probably since maybe 2024, maybe.
Okay.
And I have one at my house, and it's funny because not 100% similar, but it's more of like it has a dragon on it, it has the world, it has children, it has all of the things I love, dancing, that kind of thing. And I put that, but the way that I did this one is actually I made it like a love letter. So it was like a big paper, and I was able to fold it into like an envelope.
Okay.
And it says, Your dreams are what free you. And of course, on it, it's just a bunch of love, 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 love. But inside of it, it's actually like a hidden kind of slit because you see like a part there and you're like, oh, that's the vision board, cute. But
Mm-hmm.
if you peel it back, it's actually it's the holistic center. And
So it has layers.
yeah, it's the holistic center in school that I'm gonna have, because Renee was talking about how you can have a big goal, and about sometimes when it's so big you're like, but when you're just making small steps towards it, and you also like write it down, like you're like, all right, to get to this big goal, here's one step I can take, here's the next step I can take, here's the next step I can take. And that makes sense because I dream big a lot, and I would start off super like confident and super how do you say, super just I'm like, yeah, let's do it, let's go, but because like years ago I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have a school bus, I'm gonna have this magic bus, and we're gonna do all this thing. And I started doing events all around New York, but I kind of burnt myself out, honestly. I was just doing too much. I used to load my djembe drum plus other instruments plus art supplies, like lug it. I used to have a shopping cart with my like djembe, like going to every park in New York City, like in all boroughs. Like the Love Circus is here, and it's just like me spending all my money to buy food, and then sometimes a person showed up, sometimes two, sometimes none.
That's
But
why you were renowned then, because you have this like this iconic thing of you going with the shopping cart and the circus of love.
yeah, so it's like,
It's
yeah,
ready to transcend.
yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like, as much as the community knows me for doing the work that I do, my events aren't always uh received. Sometimes I'll have a super successful event, and then sometimes not, and that's why sometimes it could be a little bit like, what the heck? Like, am I doing it right? Am I not? Am I doing too much? Because it's like everybody's always showing me love on social media and all this, and oh, because you're da 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 and you're da da da. But then it's like, well, come to an event. Everybody's always like, oh yeah, because tell me when you have the next event. They don't be coming.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
look,
and I'm
it
like,
happens to me all the time with the temazcal. All the time.
yeah, and they're like,
Yeah.
because you're so inspiring, and you do this and you do that. They don't be coming up. Like for the most part, they don't be showing up the way that they show the love and the show the likes and the show the comments, because it's easy to like and comment and
Yeah.
whatever, but it's like to actually show up, and they don't be showing up the way that I feel like I used to have a little bit more traction in that way. I don't know, COVID feel like it changed some things as well, but sometimes it could be discouraging because I do these big ass events, and all of this planning goes into it for it to be not as big as I wanted it. But like the last time, one of the things that I learned that was definitely successful is to have a team. Because I used to wall out and do everything myself. But when I started doing the team thing and working with other people, it definitely started being better. And not even about amount of people that showed up, but just the quality we were able to do, and also that it just wasn't all on me.
Oh, your first animal and your point is the jabalí, the hedgehog.
Yeah, no,
How's it called?
no, the
The pumba,
which one was it? This the boar,
the boar,
the
and the
boar.
boar is community.
Uh
And the
huh.
community. So right now, when you mentioned that it's a holistic center, right now you also mentioned the staff. That's what it is,
Yeah.
because you are the center of it. You're the center of the center.
Yeah.
You are the center.
Yeah.
It's just the vision board is just how to materialize that place. Like, for example, this is the materialization of Renee, and it has her personality.
Yeah.
It has her touch. That's
Yeah.
why when she did the vision board, everything started to manifest like in 4 or 5 days. You know the story.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now with you, it's going to manifest on your own way, but just with art.
Yeah.
And I always say New York is a beautiful place, but it's a very crowded. I've never been there. You
Mhm.
can tell me that, but I feel that it's a place that it has a lot of people, but it's just have to be in a specific synchronicity frequency that people can tap in, and then everything just happens. It's like the synchronicity of stuff just goes immediately when you tap into that exact frequency.
Yeah.
And I know 2 or 3 people in New York. They're amazing people that I'm going to pass you, of course, their contact to see if it works or not. And the thing is, there's a lot of people that can do that happen. Like your dream, that is love,
Yeah. Yeah.
art, and craziness.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like that's what I love about New York. Like nowhere in the world that I've been yet has matched the energy of New York. So it's
Mm.
like as much as I love to travel, and as much I'm like I'm gonna move here. It's kind of like, but I love New York. Like it's just an energy, especially when you're in alignment. It just happens for you, and it's not about like, oh, I gotta find it. No, it's like it finds you, and more than that, it's like it's an abundance. And it's in abundance the opportunities, like literally in
Yeah, an
one night
example.
I can go to 20 open mics in a night, right? And like that's how many's going on. And probably like literally like 10 of them could be new, like could lead to something else. Like more than half of those 20. Sometimes you go to places and be like, yeah, there's a bunch of open mics, but maybe one or two of them like will actually lead to something. Like, no, there's just so much going on. There's so much opportunity, and like no limits when it comes to New York for real. Like, cause and also just the people there, like you never know who is who. Like I remember I got one of my biggest in that time I never performed at a festival. And it's funny because I used to see the festival, the flyer up in the Bronx, and it's called the Lock Fest,
Okay.
and it has like hundreds, they might be up to thousands of people now, but basically it's been a little different after COVID, but basically it's just this huge festival about locks and just blackness and just beauty and loving yourself. And I remember always looking at that festival like, oh my gosh, I want to like perform for that festival. Like that sounds so dope, because like I realized that festivals is like my vibe. Like I like performing for festivals. So I'm like, yeah, fast forward maybe like years later, I started performing in Brooklyn. And it was just I was actually performing at this Kwanzaa event because Brooklyn is super like black power. So I performed at this Kwanzaa event. And literally because of my performance, this lady came up to me like, hi, my name is Kim, and I actually am the curator of Lockfest, and I would love for you to come next year.
Hell yeah.
So that's the type of stuff that
Good.
happens in New York,
It's
right?
the
Even
synchronicity thing.
literally, and then like one of my friends, like he's a DJ. Even with him, he was at this community center event that he usually don't go to those open mics, but he just so happened to be there that night, and that's when he met me and he seen my performance, and he was like, "Yo." He's like, let's work, right? And he's like connected. So with him, I got to work. Yeah, I got to perform at the African Arts Festival, which is thousands of people have been going on for 30 plus years. And just because I'm in with the DJ and he sees what I do, like I got to, so it's also like you never know who knows who. So I get so many opportunities by just performing.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, and then people come up to me like, yeah, da da da. Sometimes it's through social media. They're like, yeah, I just seen you performing, and da 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 da. I got this budget. Yes. Budget's my favorite word, like, but it's literally most of my biggest opportunities has just been me performing, and it's not even like me trying to go out and trying to perform. Like, sometimes I find things, but the biggest things have always been they just see me perform and they're like, yo, or this person said this about you, because people know me in New York. Like, that's like the reality. I've been performing now 7 years, so I've been outside, and more than performing, I do a lot of community. Like, I've met, like, the borough president, and like I do a lot of that kind of stuff. So like the Bronx community centers and the people that's like on the boards and all of that. Like, I do a lot of that kind of stuff. So a lot of people know my work, because of that.
So for you, for example, what would be your preferred performance to do? For example, I do temazcal, I do different types of ceremony, but my favorite thing to do is channeling, man. I love it. And it's a kind of performance. It's a one-to-one
Yeah,
performance.
absolutely.
Sometimes it's for 30 people because it's the animales circle is also a performance. Because
Yeah.
I'm acting. I'm acting
Yeah.
and I'm channeling because you and
Yeah.
I know, and all of you
Yeah.
people that are also
Yeah.
artists, we know that performing is channeling. So
Absolutely.
what would be that performance that you're like, oh, it just makes my body and my psyche and my emotions just be aligned? What
For
is that?
me, it's festivals. I love festivals because they're typically outdoors, and it's just all of these people and vendors, and they all have like different, like, it just brings children together,
Like a
older
circus, like
people,
a
like,
feria, right? Yeah.
literally, like, I love performing for
And what
festivals.
do you do in that performance? What's the performance that you say I perform this exact thing and I love it when I'm in the festival?
Just my music in every way. My
Okay, so
music in
music.
every single way, because the thing is, the way I perform is like, it's a show.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we know.
What do you need?
She's like, I want to speak too. You go all the way up there to. This cat is so funny. I'm gonna miss you. Oh my gosh. But she doesn't need help. She acts like she does. She knows how to do it.
No,
She's
she's
about to
calling
jump.
attention.
She's
She's a
about to
big.
jump. Look, I knew it.
There she is.
But but yeah, it's really with my music, and
So it's improv, right? It's the improv, is
yeah,
the
freestyling, my
freestyle.
music, like the music that I have out already. Like, I love performing poetry as well, but it's always something special for me
Where do
with
you
my
have your
music.
music out?
So I used to have it on streaming platforms, but I actually took it off because I'm doing an experiment. And I want to start to sell my music individually, and because a lot of these systems that they have to sell our music is just not realistic. They give us like 0.1% of sales,
Yeah,
and it's like, so even if you have like a million streams, for instance, you could get like maybe $100 something, and
yeah.
there's no way I'm about to do all of that marketing and spend money on marketing to get $100 something. It's crazy. So now I've just been really finding ways to package my music with other things that people would like, so that it's, a lot of people that's successful in it does like t-shirts and that kind of stuff, and I do a lot of art, but I just haven't been on top of packaging
So
it
you don't have a
together.
website for that
I
still?
used to. No, I dropped I took my website down when I moved to Mexico.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
there's a lot of stuff that I just kind of, because like I had my website up for a few months and I was paying for it every month, and I wasn't able to get the traction that I had wanted. So it was like, I just got a website to say I got a website. It's like, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm making more sales through Instagram. So it was kind of like, so it's all about marketing, and for me, I just want a marketing team. Like, I just want somebody to do it for me, to be honest, and then, I just be the face, I just be the creative, I just do what I do,
That's the
you
dream and
know
that's the reality.
literally. So
Yeah, I understand you completely and totally.
yeah. Ay,
Wow, that was a big thought.
oh my goodness. Yeah, okay, it's not 6 o'clock yet. You ODing.
Because she wants to eat.
She want to eat, but what happened is Oma was trying to show me where the soft food was, so she's seen it already. So now she just started doing
Oh
that.
man, those things are addictive. They have like cocaine for cats.
No,
They go
literally, she's
crazy.
seen
They
it.
they,
She's
they
seen
go
it, and that's why
crazy.
she's like, now,
But
now.
they get sick.
Yeah,
Look,
probably.
I've given therapy to people, to dogs, and to cats, and all of them people that have given those little stupid bags for cats, they go sick. like mentally,
Yeah.
physically, they start to vomit, they start to act very weird, they go all crazy, they're like
Yeah.
cranky, their pupils are like super dilated
Yeah.
during the day when it's supposed to be slit,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they dilate
yeah.
their pupils in order to see stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, and when they're, like, scared or nervous or
Or
something, right?
nervous,
Yeah.
exactly, is because they're, it has to do with their amygdala and their thalamus. The thing is, like, yeah, it's just, I think it has something weird, and I have seen it
I think that
for the
that's
last 10
well, that
years.
would be very accurate because it's kind of like, canned food for humans, right? How they gotta
Oh,
put, like, all of
spam,
that,
man.
like, how
Ooh,
they gotta put all the preservatives, like, for me, I'm
ooh.
always like, "What makes this thing last until 2029?"
Yeah.
Like, bro, what do y'all have in here that preserves it for 4 years? How? It doesn't make sense. That's why I loved when I went to London and the bread you buy expires in like 4 days
Okay, yeah, it's
because
so super organic.
it's literally new because that's what real bread would do.
Yeah.
It will not last you. Why does this bread last me the next month?
Yeah, not even Whole Food. I mean, there's some things in Whole Foods that are organic, but there's other things that are like, yeah,
And it
you're
says
just trying to
organic, but
pay in.
if you sit it,
No,
that'd be the scary part when you have an
it's a green
organic
badge.
apple and then you sit it there for 2 weeks and that organic apple still like the same apple from 2 weeks ago. It gotta go.
Yeah.
Why does it look the same as 2 weeks ago? Or you know what? When you cut an apple, it turns brown
It
like
turns
almost
brown. Yeah, the
immediately.
oxidation. Yeah, oxidation.
Why did
Yeah.
I cut this apple and it's still white after an hour? Like, what is on this apple?
Yeah.
That's not real. I remember when I went to Africa for the first time. We have a refrigerator where I stayed at. I remember the first day because I'm hyped. I'm at the market getting all these fruits, all these vegetables. Yo, when I tell you, like the next day, so much of my stuff spoiled. I was like, it's like, oh, I gotta just buy stuff for the next day. Like, I cannot buy things for the week.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
I don't need to, and it spoils immediately because that's what real fruit and vegetables do. It's for an amount of time after you pick it for you to eat it, not for you to be like, I'm gonna get this food for 2 weeks from I'm gonna get my food for the month. No, that's not real. you know?
So I always, when I think of this about this stuff, I think, okay, before the industrial era, like in 1800s and 1700s, there was maybe some preservatives, but those preservatives were completely natural, and they would give
It was probably
almost a
salt.
day or two. Yeah, exactly,
Right.
salt or some
Yeah.
kind of like vinegar, for example. Yeah,
Right.
vinegar
That makes
also.
sense actually. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Also, how you call this, refrigeration, but underneath, like in the, like for example, the Mayas, they used to salt it, but also they used to like um do a hole in the ground and put it for 2 or 3 days, the cochinita, and it will preserve itself
That is so
with the achiote, because the achiote
cool.
has like some type of like enzyme that is like a red
Wow.
paste, right? So when it's boiling to a certain point, it does a chemical reaction
Wow.
together with the grease, with the fat of the animal, so it gives it around one
Okay.
week. Because if you cook you cook a pork
Wow.
1 or 2 days, no,
Yeah.
even here it's like a day is done, right?
Yeah, you shouldn't, right,
But they used to
really.
conserve their foods and stuff. So I think
Wow.
about, like, in other places, like the amount of work that they have to put to the land, to the animals, the amount of food that they have to eat, because of the amount of energy that they waste, or not waste, and or use in order to plant or hunt. They really have to put all of their focus into, you know how to preserve their lives, right? And today that we have all this like engineering and all this like chemicals and conservatives and shit, they have given us more opportunities to live more, to have more food, to be fatter, also to be less healthier. And also, when you look at the states, with all respect, when I go to the states, I see so much people. It's crazy the amount of people that I see, like in Wally, like in the,
See
like
the
with
walker.
the walker,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
what I get my scanner, what says is the type of food, and everybody
Mhm.
that comes here is like, food tastes so different. It's
Mhm.
they are like, with the fruits. They say,
Mhm.
you'll know this, right? The
Mhm.
fruits is completely different, right? So
Mhm.
what are we paying? What are we paying?
Yeah.
What are we exchanging in order to have us, unhealthy life with putting our time not into growing our food because we don't grow food. We don't know how to do that. Maybe a little bit,
Mhm.
but we don't know like the farmers. But we're putting
Mhm.
all that time into social media, into this, into
Mhm.
that, and that's good
Mhm.
because we could do our art, right? For example.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I look myself in the future and I'm like, I want to still do my art. I want to do whatever I do and I love, but I want to grow my food,
Yeah.
right? But we don't know
Yeah.
how to. And it will be incredible to find out an organic way to have this line of creation of food. Because also, when you're growing things, there's things that are going to happen. There's weevils, there's
Bugs. Right, right,
bugs,
right.
and
Mhm.
animals, and
Yeah.
weather.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that what we have, and also population multiplication, but I think that everything is for a balance and not having conservatives and doing as most real organic, not the green batch.
See.
It gives us also a healthy body, also to think if we really want to multiplicate that much. And yeah, and also all this genetic disformations that is happening.
I think it also comes down to like trade, right?
Yeah.
We were talking about trade the other day, but that's how they used to do it back in the day. Like you grow some potatoes, I grow some spinach.
Yeah,
We
we
exchange
exchange.
potatoes for spinach. So it's not like I gotta grow every single thing. I can just go and exchange with my other fellow farmers with the things that I don't have. So now everybody is having. Like there's that quote in the Bible that says, if everyone just took what they needed, then everybody would have.
Yeah.
Like because people don't take what they need anymore. They take more, they overindulge, and
Yep.
it's like that easy access to things. Like I would say when I first got to San Cristobal, not so much here because I feel like the fruit and stuff is better than New York here, but it is different than like for example when I was getting it from the market in San Cristobal,
Oh,
right? From the people that was growing it. I noticed like even my dad, like I video him and he's like, "Oh, your face is filling out." I wasn't eating anything much different. It was just because I was eating those fruits and vegetables. And I said, "Oh, snizzap." And I noticed that too. Like, for example, when I first went vegan, I actually worked on Wall Street. So Wall Street is where all of I was working in fashion.
wow.
I was working in fashion corporate, darling. I was really fancy out there, right? But that's when I went vegan. So I remember I used to buy my fruits and vegetables from Wall Street where all of these uppity rich people are. And when I tell you, like literally my kale used to have dirt on it and I loved it, right? And I was like, oh, this is nice. When I stopped working there and I started being vegan in the Bronx, like, and I was living in the Bronx at that time, but I never used to get my fruit and vegetables. When I started getting fruit and vegetables from the Bronx, this was before I found the places that I found now that do have organic stuff, but it's not always easy to get to. But anyway, I noticed that I was not full when I would eat. I could eat the same meals, same type of things that I was eating before with the food in the supermarket in Wall Street, and I just was not full. I was getting slimmer, and like I didn't feel nourished. Like I felt like something was missing, and I'm like, I'm eating like the same stuff, but it's like, for example, let's say if I got from the other place, I could eat my salad. I went through this whole phase of like eating kale, pico de gallo, and avocado. That used to be my
Nice.
salad like
Every
every
day.
day. I go through these phases where I love something a lot and I
You
overdo
just
it.
hook.
And I have it for like a month, maybe even two, and then I'm like, I hate that thing. I'm like, I hate it. I cannot eat it
I'm used
anymore.
to
But I go
that.
through these eating phases of different things. But I remember when I would eat that, for example, like that would last me like even the tomatoes at the other place, like I just used to be full. When I started doing it in the Bronx, like at the regular supermarkets, I just was not full. I found myself eating more and like again, I just felt unfulfilled. And it's like I don't know how to explain it, but more than just unfulfilled because I know how I felt before when I would finish my food. Like I remember I used to finish my food and I didn't feel like I needed to snack. And I remember that's how I knew I was like, oh, I'm hydrated, right? I remember stop using chapstick so much. I was like, oh shit, I'm hydrated. Like legit, for hours on. And I'm like, oh snap, right? So I seen the difference versus the Bronx. So like I was going through this whole thing of like, yo, I love eating this way, like why is it so challenging for me to find good food? And like I said, they have access to it in those type of places in Manhattan and Wall Street. Like you can find a lot of organic stuff. Of course, it's a little pricier, but you can find it. Like you'll find kumquats. You're like, yo, I ain't never found no kumquat. Well, I found kumquats in the Bronx now because I know where to go. But even that area, like, there's not many black people in that area, basically. I mean, ish, but people kind of know that as the part that would have the white people in the Bronx. And
Okay.
so it's wild that that is the place where, you can find it. And it's like a few stops from where I used to live. So it's like, you just want to get dinner. Do you take the train 15 minutes or do you just go outside and walk 5 minutes? Like, so it's like, it's like, I'm like, dang, I want to go to Pelham, but I don't feel like it right now, like, which is crazy that I got to go through all of this, or I got to go to all the way to 14th Street, which is the farmers market I usually go to. But
Okay.
even with the farmers market, that's there 3 times a week. And again, far, like when I was in the Bronx, it's far from the Bronx and especially far from Long Island. Sometimes I would when I would be in the Bronx and go work and stuff, I would literally try to like rush and get my vegetables and stuff so I could bring to Long Island, because if not, I'm gonna be eating pancakes all day. Cause my mom's and them do not eat how I eat. So that's literally how I started eating pancakes again. I hadn't had pancakes for
Oh, I'm
years,
addicted to those
but
things.
I hadn't had them
Oh
for
my
years when I
god.
really was like strictly vegan, and more than that, just like very, on what I ate. But it came to a point where sometimes I didn't get to go to the market before I got to Long Island, and where I live in Long Island is very secluded. Like you have to drive to a place, and sometimes my mom is at work, or the car is just not available, whatever. I also don't have my license, but that's another story. But so I would like, what am I gonna eat in this house? And I just started eating pancakes. And I'm like, Mom, I can't do this, So I would have to argue with them to take me to the supermarket. It's not that they didn't want to, but sometimes they didn't want to. No, they
Yeah.
didn't want to. So yeah, it's actually crazy. And to be honest with you, when I initially wanted to move to Mexico, there was many spiritual reasons because of me feeling connected to it, but one of them was like, I am so sick of having to stress out about my food. Like, this is crazy that I'm stressing just to be healthy. Like, it's a stress. It's literally, and it's funny because I talked to a friend the other day, and she's living in Costa Rica now, and she's from New York, same way, and she was just like, "Yo, the food is like," she's like, it's just, I'm like, I know, I'm like, it's so stressful in New York trying to be vegan, and more than that, just trying to be healthy, like not even vegan, but just healthy in general, just to find organic foods. You got to go up ways, down ways, and then like I said, when you do find it, it's expensive, and you're like,
Because at the end we did, that's where we take our energy, right? That's where we are
yeah,
taking our energy, that's where we're taking our nutrients. And it's very important to understand that the root of eating or drinking is, again, taking that energy, taking that prana. For example, if we go to India or we go to China, there's like there's people that they can meditate for 1 month, 2 months. Like
mm-hmm.
we have seen it in National Geographic. We
Yeah,
have seen the scientific facts that they haven't eaten for months or even for years and they're still alive. Why is
yeah,
that, right? Because they understood how to get that prana from their
yeah,
breath
life
work. Now, when
force
you're going into
energy.
a spiritual voyage, the first thing that you're looking for is like, how quiet can I get through that? The first there is, okay, food, okay, thoughts, food and thoughts, because whatever we grow, whatever that vibration takes, is what we're going to eat. Like it's I forgot the name of this Japanese guy that he did this book about the water and the forms that it does when it like
Is it Bruce Lee? Like the water, or flow like the water, something like that. Everybody
no
always talks about that book,
no
but
he's
I don't know.
Japanese.
Oh, right, you said that. Wait,
Yamamoto,
no,
no,
isn't
that's
Bruce Lee?
no, he's Bruce Lee's Chinese.
Ah,
Um,
one of the nieces. Copy,
no,
copy.
no,
Okay.
No,
Okay.
it's this guy that he did a book like all the spiritual like society that's it like that they always talk about that because he's like one of those that give
Not
like
Dalai Lama.
no. I'm gonna look for the name actually.
Okay.
Um, so my cell phone.
Is that?
It's yeah, she is sleeping.
How do I what do I put
So
in?
put in Japanese author about the water vibration.
Ah, okay,
It
okay.
will come out. His name will come out. He's very famous, but he talks about how like depending on the city he is in, he's going to take a sample of water. He freezes it, and it creates a distortion or a
Uh-huh.
mandala. So
Oh
when
yeah, yeah. I always heard about that. I don't know
yeah,
what's his name
something
though.
moto, something
Hello, Muto.
hello moto Yamamoto. Oh, arigatou
Japanese
gozaimasu.
guy with the
Watashi wa
water vibration. Yeah, yeah, because yeah, I've watched videos like that too. Other scientists. I don't know if it was Doctor Emoto.
Dr.
Doctor
Imo.
Emoto.
You see
Oh,
moto. You see yeah.
Masuri Emoto.
Masuri Imoto. Yeah,
Masuri.
so I mean, what's the percentage of water that we have? 80% according to, science and stuff. So everything is with water, like all the food, all the meat, the vegetables, everything comes with water. So that vibration, whatever those animals, those plants, those beings, the intention of it, and if you're putting chemicals, you're distorting. I mean, those are distorted particles, right?
Yeah.
So because they have to go through different frequencies of like different types of like acids and different types of how you call this temperatures.
pH.
pH, thank you, the
Yeah,
pH.
you reminded me. I had that on my Amazon cart for mad long. The pH strips where you just go around the wood. But again, I be stressing myself out just to eat healthy. And I say, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. But I be buying expensive water. I was just talking to somebody about that. I was like, yeah, the water in New York it flushes you out, and you got to spend like $10 on a
Yep,
water bottle.
yep.
Sometimes people like they're like, why are you buying this water for $10 and you could just buy this water for $1? I'm like, cause you can first of all when you start to drink the different qualities and waters and certain brands that I like, if you was to drink the Poland Spring, which is the typical water,
Poland
it's
Spring.
super heavy. Like you taste that is heavy. And I just heard heavy metals. Right. I never even thought about it. I just heard it. But it's heavy.
I'm
Like
sure it is.
I can taste how heavy it is. Then when you drink the other one,
Light,
it's
like
light.
bubbly.
Literally, like
Mm-hmm.
it's like
Like
ooh.
foam.
And sometimes people are like, I don't taste it different. I'm like, well, you continue drinking your Polar Spring. I'm not. If you
Mm.
don't, whatever, but I can taste it, and that's why even I'll do my best to like put my crystals in my
That's what I was
water,
gonna tell you.
which is like really trash. But I will never forget when I got to go to Africa and we went up the mountain, and the water it was a spring, and they were like, yeah, bring your bottles of water, and bring your bottles, uh, to fill up your water at the spring, and it had like dirt in it, but it was like dirt and rocks. And
Mm-hmm.
when I tell you it was just the freshest
Oh
water,
my
like
god.
yo, I got like mad bottles. I finished it by the next day though.
Yeah, of course.
'Cause it
Yeah.
was just so nice and so good. And it was like, this is the water I should be drinking. But I was like, yo, imagine if I'm drinking this water for like days on end. Like I want to see like how would I feel doing this kind of water fast. But even in New York, people be doing water fast. I'm like, now with this water, you're gonna clear yourself out. And I'm already slim, so I have to be careful when it comes to fasting in general. But especially doing something like a water fast, I could possibly pass out or some shit, just because that water is not even giving me
Yeah. The
any
electrolytes.
nutrients. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. The
literally.
electrolytes.
That's why typically I do coconut water.
Because it's exactly I was just gonna say
Yeah.
that because it has this nutrients, this plasmatic type of
Yeah.
energy,
Yeah.
well, nutrients inside the coconut water. And also another thing, I have a friend, he's from Argentina, and he used to study all this about the akashic, and he used to study serious energy, but he went into dolphins, and he had a channel that we have too, integrate the salt water with the fresh water that we have in order to have the nutrients. So it's 20. So it's if you're drinking 1 liter, that is 400 milliliters, is 200 milliliters of salt water. But you have to like harvest it. Like if you're going to the beach, you gotta like go in and then by the belly button when like if it reaches, it has to reach your timo, it has to reach your
Thyroid?
yeah, thyroid, your
Oh,
throat chakra,
uh,
and then you have to like put down the bottle with the air and then open it just in the belly button, because that is like it's like a way to measure where is the current where the clean water is, because in the surface there's like residues
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
different stuff,
yeah,
but in
yeah.
that way, and you actually like feel it when you go inside the ocean. There's a stream underneath the top part, because it's like
Wow. Like a
it's like an
cake.
onion. Yeah, yeah, exactly, it has layers. So that's
Wow.
what, but he also said if you go in deeper, like if you're like, how do you go, there's a
See, like
snorkeling or
snorkeling. Yeah, yeah.
museo, you go there, and that's you get all your water from there. So that's how I do my water, and I have it up back
Wow.
home.
That is fire. You know what's so funny? So there's also another niece person that I found on social media. I don't know which knees. I don't know. He was Asian, but but literally, I like that knees. That's funny. But no, he was talking about how our water is dead and it's not alive, and so he was saying to put sea salt in it or pink Himalayan salt and a dash of lemon. So I actually been doing that lately because, like I said, I know it washes through me because I just have to pee all the time. And I'm like, it's not just because I'm releasing, it's like nothing to be released because it's just washing me out. It's washing out even the nutrients that I do have. So I'm like, yo, I can't keep doing this. So anytime I could get myself on coconut water, I do. But also, for example, I remember going to Africa and I was drinking coconut water all the time. So I got used to how the real coconut water tastes. And before I went, I was drinking this expensive coconut water that's organic at the posh markets or whatever. But because I stayed some time drinking that coconut water, I had the taste in my mouth. I went back to New York and I got the same brands that I used to get that says organic and everything. And I'm like, bro, nah, this is not it. Like it's something in it.
Yeah.
Like I could taste that it's something in it, and I didn't really know before because I wasn't drinking it every day to like really, I just know that that coconut water is way better than all of those other cheap ones that I bought because I don't be buying all coconut waters. I always look at the sodium and all of these different. I be going in. But that's why it could just be challenging to try to like get things because I only buy certain brands, but like I said, it's just crazy trying to eat in New York for real. But I know people that have farms, so it is possible to like grow things. It's just about knowing, and it's what it is more than knowing. It's about having a space. So like for example, I have a house now. Like my family has a house now, and we have a front yard, backyard, and I was like, yes, but guess what? My stepdad sprays. So it comes to that point, like I got all this land finally and he sprays. So I can't even. I ate a dandelion from the backyard one time, and I'm being dramatic. I was not about to die. I was about to die. No, no, no. I'm dramatic. No, no, no. I did eat a dandelion from the backyard before, and it just burnt, and I was like, that's that spray that they
Is a
put in
spray.
there.
And
I was like,
it's a damn
damn.
shame. It's a damn shame, because you know what? The
It's
best
a
pesticide we have
dandelion shame. It's a damn
is a
shame.
dandelion shame. I mean, the thing is,
Yeah.
we have something better for pesticides, and it's called tobacco.
Oh wow, you
You,
can use tobacco for.
you
Of
grab
course you can.
80% tobacco and 20% ashes. It can be from like any type of ashes.
Okay.
And you mix that together. You ground it. You put a little bit of coffee, like 1/18th of but coffee that was already used,
Yeah. Okay.
because of its acidity, together with the nicotine, together with the ashes. What the ashes does is it catalyzes. So you do all that mush and things, and you put it.
Wow.
I mean, I know this because I used to not grow up in farms, but I used to go always with my grandfather's farm and my
That's
uncle's
fire.
farm,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and they used
yeah.
to. Oh, everything is organic. I used to be a shepherd, so
Pilgrimage. Yeah, the
so
alchemist.
I say this because everything that they taught me was like, because they come from a Spanish heritage, but the south of Spain, so everything is organic at the end, because it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
they didn't have, and it wasn't like in the 1920s and 30s, so they have all this like transgenerational things. The thing is, it's all about money and selling and marketing in order
And
for this.
killing people.
And yes, and I mean the
Like
pesticides and
making
all this.
and more than killing. Let me just say that keeping people
Monsanto.
sick. keeping people sick. That's what it is. Because killing them
Thank you.
is more like, oh no, 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 we
Yep.
can't just kill them. No, 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 we got to keep them sick, because if you keep a person sick, then you can continuously make money off of them. You kill them, then it's like, I unless they're a celebrity, which they be doing as celebrities, they could continue making money. But a normal person on the street every day, no. If they keep them sick though, they could get that same bread that they be getting from their celebrities, maybe. But I'm just saying,
No, it
like
is
that,
like
up to
that.
that, up to that. So when you keep, and then also when you keep people sick within the body, you keep them sick within the mind. And when people are sick within the mind, they don't understand their power, so they don't go and try to look for the organic thing. They don't go and try to do things themselves. They become dependent because their mind is not even clear. So they're dependent on this thing outside of them because they don't even know who they are for real. They don't know how powerful that they are to actually heal, to actually look for a different way. Most people are walking around blinded by society and all of the things. I just heard chemtrails. Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, don't get me started, but
Yeah.
like that's what I had to say. But it's like all of these chemicals, all of the chemtrails, all of the things that they're putting out, right? And then people are like, oh well, this is just how it is. No, you make your reality the way that you make it. I remember during COVID and
There
everybody
it
used to
is.
be like, oh, because like I was traveling during COVID. That's where I started. That's when I started. I was like, I was doing it a little bit before, but when that happened, I was like, oh no, we out, because everything was cheap and everything was empty, and I was like, yes. I was like, where I'm booking next. I literally found a video of myself the other day on my Instagram, and I was like, everybody walking around with their masks, and I'm just trying to book the next flight because everything is cheap. That's what I'm on, right? But people went, and then I had some video because I found this mask that had like like a not sad face. It was more like a teeth face, and then I was in the video like, they got me wearing this mask, y'all. I gotta wear this mask, y'all. This is great. I was violent. I had a lot of fun during that time. But what I'm saying is that people used to be like, oh, like how you traveling here, or how you doing this, and da 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 da. I'm like, my reality is not your reality.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
like, in my reality, like all of the things that you walking around fearing and all of that, that is not my reality. That is not my reality. So you telling me about all this stuff that you stressing about? That's not my reality.
And don't project that to me because it's not real.
Literally, like I remember, I'll never forget, because well, I didn't forget, but I was reminded that same time when I was looking at the videos, because this was like 2020. Yo, I performed. I'm like, one of my most gangster moments. I performed a song that I wrote about COVID called "Swag On, Mask Off" in front of a vaccinated crowd. I was not vaccinated, and I
Me
was in
neither.
there like, "Swag on, mask off." And I won the competition too. You know they was bad. You know they was bad. There was some of them that respected it though, and I was like, you know what, you a real one because you vaccinated. You even take it personally. I was on there like, swag on, yo. When I tell you they like, I just felt the tension in the crowd as they listening to me and triggered. I just put a post a video on my TikTok. Trigger that ass. Trigger that ass. Okay. Sometimes we should. Oh, I'm just gonna say this. I'm not gonna say this because it's gonna trigger someone. Trigger that ass. That
Thank
is
you.
how the healing
Wow.
comes.
Wow.
Okay.
Dude, that's golden.
Trigger.
This is golden. Like I've said it in
Period.
other ways, but the way that you're saying it is just golden. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes, trigger that ass. I'm here to trigger. I'm here to bring up emotions, not necessarily always happy, sunny, shiny emotions, but I'm here to bring up emotions. And
Yep.
whatever way you feel that, like that's how it's gonna bring up. And
Because
that's
your
what,
inner demons, you gotta face them.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I will
Don't project them
I will
outside.
bring them up. I will bring them up,
Exactly.
and I'm not even bringing them up coming at individuals. I'm bringing them
For
up just
yourself.
by being myself,
Yep.
and by speaking out, because God told me like, you gotta, like, what, when I wrote that song, I was mad because it was affecting my life. My events just started popping. I was hosting open mics at that time, and my open mics started being popping. Then all of a sudden COVID happened, and it just closed everything that I was doing. Like literally my last event just had mad people, and it was helping my music. I was getting hired by different places to host in the Bronx, and then all of that just shut it down. Then people like, you want to come on my podcast and perform? No, I don't want to perform to a camera. Like I just didn't. Like I was not on it. I've tried different stuff now, but it's still nothing like when I'm in person and I could play around with that
Like
stage.
if
And
you be yourself, because that's the thing about like performing. It's you're not acting something else. You're acting your inner realities. You're acting all your
Yeah.
personalities within, because we
Yeah.
all have different types of personalities. But
Yeah.
it's like, I'm not gonna act what you are telling me what is for you to keep you safe.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
no, I'm not. I'm not the one or the two.
I have my circus
I
inside my
mean,
head.
yeah, no, no, I am the sir. And that, it's funny because you said that a bit earlier, but that was the message for me as well. It's like, okay, yes, I'm working on this place. Even I did a reading with one of my friends. Like, I love him because I don't be getting tarot readings from everybody, but I love him, and he literally was just confirming the things that I already received, and it was just more about like I keep thinking about having a physical place in many aspects, right? When it comes to a house, when it comes to a center, all of these different things. And it's like, yes, while that is a goal, it's more about I am that. I am the walking circus.
Yep.
I am the foundation. I am that. So everywhere I go is where my circus goes. Everywhere I go is where the healing goes. Like I am that. So when I get a physical, when I materialize a physical place, it's going to be in the divine time and the divine space that it needs to be branched off like that. But meanwhile, I am that. So I'm the walking circus.
And it's something crazy because normally, what the idea of what a circus is
Ah, let's talk about it.
they hold freaks, right? Is that, I
Yes.
love that word, because I always
Yeah.
felt like a freak in my school. I always was the
Yeah.
weird guy, the freak.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right now in our age, in our
Yeah.
energy, we're like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, I wouldn't be something else.
Yeah.
So it's that freak, right? That it's like extraordinary being, multi-dimension.
Thank
It's
you. What
just
you say?
rolling
Oh, thank
in.
you.
It's
Whoopee,
just
whoopee.
rolling. The cat is
Silly
just rolling.
girl. She's such a silly
You see
girl.
that you will do that too, and I'll do
Absolutely.
that too.
Yo, I have
It's
a thing.
natural to be a freak.
Every time I do a static dance, I always end up on the floor like that with my legs. I always end up on the floor. They're like, you always end up on the floor. You already know. You already. It's not an ecstatic dance if I don't end up on the floor. Like that's it. I feel at home there. That's why I want to learn how to break
Oh
dance because I
no!
always end up on the floor, you know. And I'm like, yeah, I want to break dance out here, but I just be shaking.
I'll end up barking.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, I love.
Yeah. Oh wow. I wanted to see how she
They're like, what the fuck?
reacted.
Yeah, everything. The animal thing is something I used to play a lot with. I used to do like a bear. I mean, do like a bear. I do like a peacock. I do like many things, but I don't do it only out of being a fool. I mean, I'm doing a fool, but it's like my nervous system.
It's help. It's healing. Yeah, it's
Oh
very healing.
my
It's very healing
god,
when
it's
you're
very
just
healing.
because you're being open and you're being free and you're not being because you're being that child, right? Because that childlike wonder, that curiosity,
Yeah,
that free unapologetic expression is what heals us, and that's why many people are also sick is because they're just not allowing themselves to just be. What I look like going around barking? Who cares what you look like?
dude.
Like who cares?
and
Like
and and that you said the thing with the child, there's something a lot of spiritual people talk about, the inner child, and it's
yeah,
like, let's go and heal the inner child. Don't heal it,
yeah.
let him out,
Yeah,
let him
play,
play. That's the
play,
word, that's the big
play.
word.
Because that's really the healing is the playing.
Is the
It's the
playing.
playing. It's the
Yeah.
playing. You know, it's allowing yourself to play, allowing yourself to play
Yup.
without all of these rules and restrictions. And it's funny, I want to talk about the circus thing because the reason why I named it that in the first place is because of course it's love, because everything is love. Okay.
Yeah.
But circus is because people usually when you go to a circus you see that these people, like the way I like to explain it is like people that they call nowadays in the slang what the kiddies are saying, the black sheep, you know what I'm saying,
Yep.
they say like the black sheep. So basically this is my idea, like what coming up with everything was like, okay, these are the people that so many people judge because they're super weird or just different and exotic, right? However, those same people that's calling those people weird and exotic go pay a ticket to go watch them at the circus. So I'm like, yes, the love circus, because we are those ones that who were kind of casted out in a way, and we came together in this way because we all connected off of our differences, off of the ways that we are super weird, and we found a way to like literally get paid for being weird, right? So that's the idea of like all of these people may try to judge, but yet they're the same ones who go and pay to go see it happen because really deep inside they want to be that too. So that was like my whole idea around that is just the freedom of what circus means, right? And then also for me, the vision that I have is like that adding of the spirituality. So I have a vision of like, because when you go to a circuit, it is interactive, but like I have a vision of like, instead of regular benches, like people got like space, like it's like a yoga mat and they got space, and we like, all right, let's go, y'all. Hey,
Yeah, they
hey,
can.
hey, hey.
They
And then
feel
we're like
connected.
meditating
Yeah,
and everybody's like, ooh, ooh, like, it's like this interactive lesson. Like it's basically
it's a
like
collective
yeah, it's like the person in
pulse.
the middle is basically the guide. They're not just like the performer. Everybody
Pulse.
becomes like the performer, really. Like, so that's like my vision of it. And like I said, just including like sound healing and ecstatic dance is like, that's the vision that I have. And that's why I'm like, yeah, I love circus. Like, and like I told you before, like it's an amusement park. Like literally I had a dream about the empty land, and I'm like, bro, what is this? It's an amusement park. I said, oh, that's the circus. It's an amusement park. One side, you go down or whatever the hill, that's the place where people sleep and or whatever. You go over there, that's the meditation hall. You go over there, that's like the little school area. That's the
Then
children
the
area, the
dog
family.
park where the dogs are
Oh,
free.
you already know. So my vision board, they got the dog literally watching,
Really?
looking over it. I gotta show it to you because I still have my
For
my
real, you
thing
had the dog
open.
thing?
Yeah, I
I
have
just
a
felt it,
I have a
know.
white. I have so it's funny because that came
Nice.
in yesterday. It was like a white wolf, and then I ended up finding literally this
Yep.
dog that's like a white, that looks like it's a dog, but it looks like a white wolf, and I put him over like he's like the protector of the space, and then of course who I put next to him, right? They
Yeah.
both like they both
Compliment, yeah.
literally looking over the space, like they're like the watchers, the watchdog, right? Like the overseers type of energy. So I'm like, yeah, yo, this is it, and I feel like I
The printed
haven't.
spirit energy there, animal spirit.
Yeah,
That's very important.
yeah.
Yeah.
To me, the
Good
children,
alchemy.
the animals, the families, like everybody, really, everybody, just doing wild stuff, just like wild, just like crazy. Like the more crazy, like
The better.
how do you audition? You just got to be crazy. Like, oh, you normal? I don't think this is the position for you. You know how like
How they did it to us? Yeah.
I was just about to say, you know how like when I will never forget, I had this interview and I was overqualified for this job. And it was like a receptionist at some finance place. And at that time, I had like red hair. I had purple lipstick. Like,
Yeah.
but I had on my suit outfit because it was an interview. But it was
I
still
don't
cute
imagine that.
though. It was still cute. But like I said, I had red hair, uh, purple lipstick, and I remember, and it was a black lady. So she was like trying to give me the lowdown. She's just like, and at that time, I just had my nose ring, and it was just the dot one. Like it wasn't like I got this in San Cristobal, but it was literally just my little dot ring. It wasn't even the one with the hoop. And she was just like, yeah, because you are overqualified, and I want to hire you. But the thing is that like with the like I think it's really creative, but like with the hair and the lipstick and the nose ring. When she said, like, I've heard stuff about my hair and my lipstick before, which I still never agreed, but it was more I heard those before. When she said my nose ring that was a little dot, I was like, nah, I'm
No,
good.
that's not the place for me.
I'm like, I'm good. Not my nose ring. Not my
Yeah.
whole nose ring. That's not even, like I said, it's not even like this or whatever. It's literally like a dot nose ring. I said, oh no, that's not my place. And at that time, I wore every single color wig that you could think of in the rainbow because I used to take turns. I'm like, all right, well, and then I'm like, oh, I'm working on the root chakra right now. We got red hair. You know, so I always just had these wigs, and I will never forget too, because growing up I had a perm, so ain't nobody knew what I was. People thought I was Hispanic, Indian, like everybody thought whatever because I had this straight hair. And I remember when I started having my afro, and I was going natural again, and I would interview for the same type of places. I remember being looked at different when I had my afro, and I said, "Oh, this is the racism that they've been telling me about for years." Cause I ain't never really go through it for real. Can't nobody place me. Ain't nobody know what I was. Puerto Rican, Dominican. Like they didn't know. I had the hair. I had the hair. They didn't know. But I swear, when my afro said, they was like, "Oh no, she black." I was like, "That's crazy,
Yeah.
y'all."
Yeah, discrimination does its thing, but also discrimination brings in also that freak monster because we're talking about the freak,
Yeah,
but there's also the rebel part. There's
yeah,
also the anger
yeah,
part,
yeah,
and I grew up in a house where my dad was, because I consider myself, North African brown,
yeah,
Mediterranean, whatever. But my father was, may he rest in peace, he was white completely, like a
Right.
españoleta.
They say that right,
But
right,
he was like into hotel business and everything, so he was all the time, shaving it with his tongue
right.
and all like this. So every single morning he used to say that I was his image, that I need to behave myself, because I was, I would wake up, I'd be like
Yeah, yeah,
like this,
yeah.
my shirt,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and be like I always was an animal, right?
Yeah.
So
Basically.
and basically always it
Right.
was an animal. So he
Right.
didn't like it. He wanted to domesticate me. And the truth is that then later on I found out by my uncle that my dad was crazy also like me, but he was domesticated by him. And
Mm.
yeah, he told me like a little bit to stay wild. It was a good thing that I had with him, a good talk. The thing is, you gotta stay wild. And
Yeah.
yeah, you're going to go back to the jungle,
That's literally what
to
it
the
is.
to the concrete jungle. And so what's your Instagram so people can find you in
My Instagram is, you know what it is. No, it's I was trying to make a last joke. It's Bubbles the Creative, but Bubbles is spelled with an S and a Z. So it's Bubblesse. Bubblesse. The Creative.
here? I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I'm going to put it here.
I
So can
always
you
want.
see
Oh
it?
dang! It look like I'm putting my
No,
middle
no, I'm
finger
like
up.
because
Look,
I'm gonna
I look
no,
like I'm
because you're
putting
gonna
my
put it
middle
here.
finger up. Like, yeah, follow me.
Yeah.
No, it's not my middle finger, y'all.
Okay, I'm gonna keep on talking to
I always
Bubbles,
wanted to
but
do that.
outside camera. See you.